Hello, my friends. Jill here in my Empowered Fitness community for women over 40, looking to get energized, confident, and strong. And today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday in my group, we do a live Q&A session answering all of your questions related to health and fitness and weight loss and menopause and hormones and all the things that you want answers to. So if you have a question, you are welcome to drop it below. If you want to email me, if you want to message me, we've got lots of opportunities for you today. So I know it's going to be a lot, but it's going to be amazing. And what else? So what we do here, I gotta be quick today because there were so many questions to answer today. Hi everybody, it's good to have you on live. I'm sure it's because hopefully you have the day off in prep for Thanksgiving, and I'm wishing you very happy holidays. If you go to jillortizfitness.com/blog, you can get an awesome blog post with all of my tips and tricks for Thanksgiving, for all of the big holidays, including a Thanksgiving recipe guide with lots of healthy alternatives and little twists on your favorite recipes. So jillortizfitness.com/blog, you can go there. And then we've got lots of questions, so I gotta jump right in. I'm giving you tons of opportunities in here, and I will go over those at the end, but there's lots of little things. I know somebody today, she said, it's the holidays, I don't have a lot to spend, but I do really need to get started. And she said, so how much does this cost? And I said, there's a whole range of my programs and coaching methods and all the things that you can do, options that are at different price levels. But we have some really, really amazing opportunities right now for Black Friday deals, for end of year deals. And so they start at the bottom is $27 for my 5-day menopause makeover. And so this is a huge value. You get 5 lessons on menopause, answering everything you need to get yourself back in control, getting your hormones in line and all of those symptoms in check, including bloat and weight loss. So you are going to have 5 mini lessons. They're just like 10 minutes long. You have 5 15-minute workouts included, so you can get to know my style. And you have a 5-day kickstart cleanse, which will take 5 to 10 pounds off right after Thanksgiving, start at Monday, okay? So that's only $27. That is going to go up in price in the new year. Regular price is $97, okay? Then we have a step up from that, the $99 flat belly bundle. This thing's worth over like $500 with all the things. You've got 20 workouts with Jill's Killer Abs, 16 separate ab workouts, and 4 glutes workouts. They're all just 7 to 8 minutes a day. You've got my all four 5-day kickstart menus, and lose 5 to 10 pounds in 5 days, and you can do that 4 different times, 4 different menus, and you get my macros masterclass, including my first fat burning meal plan, which is a huge value. That I sell for $127 on its own. So this is an amazing bundle, and it's only $99, and that goes away on November 30th. So get that now. You can do that in addition to everything else I have to offer, and you'll get to keep that stuff forever. The last offer that's going to end on November 30th is the beta testers for my brand new program, The Power Within. I am finishing week 2 this week. We've got ladies who are doing week 3. We've got ladies who are on their first week this week, and we have ladies who signed up today who are going to start on Monday. And we're going to get an end of year round of that program in 4 weeks, progressive strength training. It is so fun. I am loving it. And we're going to do it together as a challenge in the new year to really get your energy going strong with the meal plan, with lots of prizes, support, coaching, and all that great stuff. Today I've got the ladies helping me design a playlist with awesome motivating music, so that it's got a little bit of everybody. And so if you want to be one of this inaugural group, you get $100 off that combo and a free pass to the New Year's challenge, and that is $199. You get to keep everything forever. You get it now. You could do a whole round before the end of the year, and then you can do it again in the new year with us. So that is $199. All of those links are in this. I've given them to you here. Sign up for something. Get started. It will be such a better way to start your year. I posted earlier. I didn't post it in here, but I think I posted it on my main Facebook feed and on my Instagram when I was doing some of the moves from my second day of, well, it's the second workout of the week in my the Power Within journey. And I posted some clips of me doing the workout. And I said, this is the time when so many people quit. They just give up and they kind of just say like, let me just do whatever I want the rest of the year and I'll restart in January. But because they kind of did everything that they just like wanted to, and they gave up on life and they stopped doing workouts and they started eating everything they wanted, they don't feel good going into the new year, and they don't start it with fire. And a lot of people get sick because of all the crap habits that they gained in the last month of the year. And so much better to have a plan, to have coaching, to have a community and a solid plan now, and to have the best, like I always say, double down in December. Go strong, go hard, have fun, but also be like really building momentum. And that makes the new year so much better. You feel great, you perform great, and you get a ton out of it. And so I see in my clients really, really great results in December and January when everybody else is still flailing. So sign up for any one of those things and it will get you going in the right direction. If you're like, I don't know which one to start with, but I need a conversation, sign up for a call with me, okay? All right, we just wasted 5 minutes, so let's get to some questions. So Carol joined our group last week, but I didn't get to her question. And she said motivation was holding her back. And again, I apologize. I did not do my normal Motivation Monday pep talk this Monday, but I spent 12 and a half hours at SeaWorld with my son. And I added some pictures of some pictures of us and some of the videos of the dolphins, the sea lions, and the whale, the orca show. And so I'm sorry for not doing anything that day, but I was having a blast, and I did 9 roller coasters and I didn't throw up once, and we had a blast. So we'll be back to Motivation Monday next Monday. But so Carol says motivation is holding her back. So if you can hear the excitement in my voice, like I love that I have a plan, I know what I'm doing, I've laid it all out, I've got a community of ladies who are excited too. They show up, they tell me how their workout was. We talk about, we're talking about like getting ourselves gifts, and Marianne's talking about like getting some adjustable dumbbells, and Jill's saying, oh, I have these, little plates that add like 2.5 increments, and everybody's talking fitness stuff, and it's so exciting. So I say get involved in something and be surrounded by people who are doing this too, and you will absolutely feel lifted and excited. And then show up every Monday with me for your Motivation Monday pep talk. Go back and binge watch those on my YouTube channel. Just look up Jill Ortiz and you'll find me there. Or hop on a call with me. It's the best way to get started because I'm excited for you and I'm getting excited to get to know you too. I've had a lot of ladies come into my inbox in the last several weeks, in the last several years, and I'm always excited to get to know you and to then have that FaceTime so that we can get you some results, because I just love hearing the results. I love helping you get results, and most of all, helping you get empowered. I'm looking here, I'm flipping through my notebook because I had a call this morning with Janelle, and when I met Janelle, she was, she's almost at the 20-pound mark, and I only met her on the 15th of last month, and she's lost almost 20 pounds, and it's so exciting. So I'm excited for you all. So Carol asks, what actually works? What works is having a plan, being prepared, right? And so we just take the week by week, right? We have our month plan set, meaning we've got our framework for our nutrition in place. We've got our fitness program, a 3 to 4 week fitness program in place. And then week by week, we look at what's going on in my life. What am I going to do for meals? What are my workouts that I got to get done? We plot it on the week, and then we just execute and we share our experience. That's what works. And it works because you just keep doing it. And every 3 to 4 weeks, you change up the plan, you make it new and fresh, and you stay in it and you stay connected. So that's what really works, okay? Sarah asks, why am I doing everything right? She put that in quotation marks, but the scale won't move. It's possible that you're not doing everything right, Sarah, okay? It's possible that you're like eating less, working out more, and you think that's the right thing. And honestly, that's not. You need to be in alignment. And so that's one really great reason to start your journey with me with that 5-day menopause makeover, especially because it's so cheap right now. It's probably that's like 60% off. That's going to teach you the 5 pillars of alignment that are going to just completely shape your path and make sure that you are doing the actual right things. So you got to be doing the right fitness, okay? So it's not a ton of cardio, tell you that. That's not it, not now in this part of life. It's not going to be eating less and less and less and less. It's not going to be cutting out all the carbs. It's not going to be, being stressed out and overloading your plate. It's going to be managing your stress. You've got to get sleep and rest and recovery, and you've got to be managing your hormones and knowing where you're at, knowing if there's something that's completely off that's driving everything else. So, these are the pillars. They're all explained in the 5-day menopause makeover. That's why it's such a good place to start, and we'll just get you reset, right? We'll reset you, and then that's your launch point. So there's got to be something in there that's off. There's nothing, they're not everything in alignment, and that's what we can do together is we can keep getting the pieces into place, and at some point, something's gonna click. And that reminds me of my call that I had with Carissa yesterday. And she knew this was not gonna be an overnight thing, but we've been working together for months. And all of a sudden, in this last section of her training and her nutrition, the pieces started to get more aligned. She's been working really hard on getting all of her food in and pushing herself in her workouts. And all of a sudden, Carissa lost 6 pounds and several inches. She kept saying, I lost 2 inches here and 2 inches there and on my bust and my hips and my waist. And she lost so many inches all around in this particular phase. She was doing my Lean Lifters program that all of a sudden, it all started being aligned. And that is amazing. So we need to find that alignment, and we need to figure out which of the pieces that are kind of throwing everything off. So you might think you're doing everything right, but until you have some new eyes on it, somebody who's a professional in this area and knows at this stage of life what's going on, that might be a struggle. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm offering you things all the time. I want to make sure you're not banging your head against the wall and wasting time and getting to the place where you feel super confident and excited about your journey and knowing that you're doing the right things, okay? All right, Julie, how many calories do I need to eat in a day at my age? So it's less about age and it's more about what is your goal? Are you looking to lose weight fast? Are you looking to lose weight gradually? Are you looking to gain muscle, which could possibly mean weight gain? Are you looking to maintain? So that's one thing. We need to know your goals, all right? Number 2, we need to know what your current body weight is. We need to know what your current makeup is. So I've got a lot of muscle in my body, so I require a lot more calories than others. I also push really hard in my workouts, so I require more calories. If I'm doing runs or weighted vest walks or biking, whatever that is, if I'm doing more cardio, I need even more calories. So it depends on your goals, your activity level, what you're doing for your workouts, and then you have to find your kind of like starting point, right? And so we have calculations that do this. You will learn all of that in that macros masterclass in the Flat Belly bundle that is now just $99, okay? Look for that link. So that's all these things are gonna determine the place where you start. Then you have to execute, right? You have to do it, you have to follow it, you gotta be kind of true to it, and then you gotta see, what are my results that are happening? And based on that, if you want to lose weight faster, then you maybe tweak that. If everything's going great, then you just stay where you're at. And so it's going to be your starting point, and then you kind of adjust based on the results that are happening, okay? And then also we need to phase this, right? Because your metabolism is going to always adjust to your intake. And so if you want to change and get new results, then it's really good to try different calorie levels and different fitness, exercise amounts and, all kinds of stuff, and to change things up and see how your body is changing and reacting with all the change, right? So maybe you have to eat a little more for a while and eat a little less and bump up your calories and test new things and see how you're constantly changing. It's like a puzzle, right? Okay, next is Robin. I think Robin joined today, maybe this morning. So Robin said what's holding her back from achieving her goals is drinking wine. Yes, drinking wine will hold you back, like 100%. It is just fact. And so what I do is I actually bought a bottle. If you guys know, Trader Joe's sells these like $5 bottles of Bellini, and that's my favorite drink. And so I actually bought a bottle last week, and I drank that, but I don't usually keep wine in the house. I started drinking adaptogen drinks and fun little drinks that maybe relax me, but don't impair me, and they also don't stop my metabolism, because when you have alcohol in your body, in your blood system, is that what we call it? In your bloodstream, your body is not metabolizing your food until that alcohol is metabolized. So it's basically going to shut down your digestive system until the alcohol is metabolized. So if you're drinking wine with a meal, sorry, that meal is going to stick to your guts. And so minimizing the alcohol at this point in life, it's important if you want to get the best out of your health and fitness, okay? So that doesn't mean you have to stop, but it means you should minimize and switch to something else, okay? So she wants to drop weight and control hormone balance, so alcohol ain't gonna be helpful for your hormones, so maybe it's worth it to give that up now. And I'm telling you, nobody else cares if you're drinking or not anyways. You could drink seltzer, you could drink whatever, nobody cares. You could still be social. And she wants to know, how do I lose menopause belly? Stop drinking the alcohol, get everything in alignment, right? Nutrition, this alcohol drinking, because you know what else? I told you sleep is so important, and alcohol will ruin your sleep. I track my sleep daily, and if I start drinking, goes down the tank, like worst sleep ever. If you're thinking like, oh, drinking a glass of wine at night helps me relax and fall asleep, no, it doesn't. It helps you pass out, and that's not deep sleep. That's not good sleep. So sleep is important for the menopause belly, right? Getting good quality sleep. And so that will be something that helps, right? We also become very insulin resistant at this period of time when our estrogen is declined. And so you've got nobody helping you with this sugar, and that's what wine is too. It's sugars. You're basically injecting yourself with sugar and toxins. That doesn't sound very good. It's fun once in a while, but I wouldn't want to do that all the time, right? So we have to just change our priorities now. In college, my priority was drinking as much as I could. That's not my priority anymore. So yeah, that's gonna help by minimizing. All right, Michelle says motivation's holding her back. So Michelle, binge watch all my motivation things and then schedule a call with me so we can pep you up. And she's saying, I'm not much of an eater, so following a diet can be difficult. She's not hungry. So my question is, why are we not hungry? Is it that we're not getting exercise, that we're not getting enough movement during the day, that we don't have enough muscle in our body? Because I will tell you, I'm always a hungry beast. And it's because I do a lot of heavy lifting. My body's full of muscle. So muscle requires more fuel, right? And if we're not doing enough activity, then our body doesn't require fuel. So it's not going to get hungry. Good case in point is when my husband went to this really cool, it's called Theater on the Sea. And it's down in the Keys. And we walked up to the alligator show or whatever, and I think it was an alligator. It was laying there, and everyone was like, can you feed the alligator? All the kids. And the guy was like, no, he already ate this month. And they're like, what do you mean this month? And they were like, yeah, he only eats 2,000 calories a month. And they were like, why? We eat that in a day. And he's like, well, has he moved since you got here? And they were like, no. He's like, well, if you don't move and you don't you aren't active, then you don't need calories, because you're not, you don't need them. And if you don't need them, then you don't eat them, then then you don't even have the energy to do the stuff. So you're going to be tired and sluggish, and your metabolism is going to be slow. And so it doesn't help you. So what do we have to do? We have to build that up, and we have to start working on adding more food. Probably not like, let's go from 1,000 calories a day to 2,000, because that could be really uncomfortable, but we have to learn how to build that up. And so I told you before, Carissa, that's been a struggle for us. Like, we got to get all the food in, and she's gotten busier and busier with adding more to her plate. And so I said to her just yesterday, I said, we got to get you eating protein like first thing in the morning, right? Eat a protein bar, drink a protein shake. Let's start getting that food and the calories in early, because your stomach is empty, right? And hey, let's get it going. Let's get the metabolism firing up. Let's get your body awake. Let's give it calories and energy. So I would say start eating early, right? When your belly is empty, and then start gradually adding more and more over time. Maybe add in a snack, add in a couple more ounces of protein at your meals, and make sure you're doing the work to build the body that requires more. And that reminds me of Marianne. She's very light, and she has lost weight in my program, but she was not a heavy eater. And she has been lifting for months with me now. And every time I look at her little weekly check-in, she writes, I'm super hungry in the afternoon, so I'm eating more snacks. And so now she's eating more, and she's getting hungrier for it because she's been lifting so much and building great muscle, right? So let's build the habits and get you going little by little, right? So we should probably, Michelle, have a call and talk about what are you eating now and how can we move that stuff around and add more. Mary, motivation to exercise and eating the same thing all the time is holding her back. She says, how do I eat healthy without boredom? So with every program, I've got maybe 9 workout programs at this point. They range from 3 to 9 weeks, but every phase is either 3 to 4 weeks. And with all those, I have meal plans, and I've got lots of meal plans. I actually have a meal plan for every week of the year. And so that's how you change things up, right? You got to just keep changing things and keep it fresh and do new recipes. But you also have to be eating by a framework, right? So rules, what are the rules of the game? So are you following or are you not following? Because if you're not following, you're probably not getting the results. But you can always get back on track if you know the rules. And I teach 5 different frameworks. That gives you a lot of different options, things that work for everybody, different people. And if you get bored with your framework, you just switch to another one. So you're still on track, you're just doing something different. So that's what I would say is you got to keep changing things up and make it fun. Like, I think about lunches that really excite me. I get on a chicken Caesar salad kick every once in a while. I get on my Philly cheesesteak bowl kick. I get on a taco bowl kick. There's all different things. And, I just remember I go through my meal plans and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't had that thing for a while. Like, I would eat that every day all week for lunch. And so that's what I do, is I change it up, but I have my plan in place. And then a lot of times I prep it on the weekend so that I'm not doing any work during the week. I just have to go in and eat it, and I get really excited. Hopefully that helps. All right, Jennifer. She's always tired, has no motivation due to always being tired. Nutrition and her hormones are holding her back. She wants to lose at least 20 pounds, and because she says she's never been that heavy before. She says, how do I balance it all? And when I do lose weight, how do I maintain it? So the first thing of how do I balance it all is, I know we're all very busy. I don't get to do everything that I want in a day, that's for sure. I recruit my family for help. So I just ask my husband to help my son put my other son's bedding in the laundry. I'm paying my younger son money, because he wanted money to go to the mall with his friends, to clean my older son's room while he's in England and go through all their toys and old stuff and make piles and, go through his clothes and do his laundry, because I think that'd be super helpful. And so recruiting help and not putting everything on you, letting other things go when you need to focus on you, giving you the time first, right? Taking care of you so that you can take care of others. Getting up early to do your workouts, that helps me. I get it done before anybody else needs me, and then I feel awake and excited. Getting enough sleep and rejuvenating yourself. being a good time management person, so time blocking, which means knowing what you got to do in a week, each day, hour by hour. When am I going to shower? And being okay with everything not getting done in a day, but whatever doesn't get done today, you just put it at the list, top of the list tomorrow. Recruit help when you need it, and that's how I balance it all. Sometimes I'm not great at everything. Sometimes, I need to farm out for help. We have a cleaning lady now because none of us liked cleaning and it took too much time and it wasn't worth it. And then in terms of once you do lose the weight, how do you maintain it? You have to keep doing what you were doing and you have to do new things. So, if you were adding exercise, and so my clients, we do a program, we do the next program, we do the next program. And I want them to see that this is going to be how it is now for the rest of their life. It's not like when they lose all the weight that all of a sudden this whole idea of exercising 5 days a week and eating healthy 80% of the time, it doesn't just go away because you reached your goal, because then you're going to go back to where you were. You have to kind of become the new person who says, when I wake up, I work out. That's who I am. It's what I do. It's what I love, right? Or, whenever it works for you. And I'm somebody who makes good decisions. So my son and I stopped at a rest stop on our way home from Orlando yesterday, and he got a Wendy's meal with 10-piece chicken nuggets, fries, and a Frosty. And I went to the place next door and I got it was lettuce, tomatoes, and grilled chicken with some cilantro lime dressing. And yeah, I ate 1 or 2 of his nuggets and I ate a couple of his fries and I stole a couple of bites of his Frosty, but it wasn't just getting that whole meal that he got. So I still got bites of it and tastes of it, but for the most part, I'm choosing the healthier options, and it's just what I know that I'll be doing for the rest of my life, right? But I was craving more the salad with the chicken and a couple bites of his food, right? So that's how I do it. Balance, right? Okay, Tamra, she needs a good plan, is what she says. How do I lose weight during menopause? You focus on strength training. You have a framework built for menopausal women for nutrition, which means rule number 1, blood sugar regulation, right? We're insulin resistant. We're not able to process carbs as well. We are, our blood sugar needs to be better regulated with what we do. That's not going to do it as well on its own. And so we need to be more even throughout the day, which means not huge swings, not eating carb only and fat only meals, not going too long without food. All these things are going to affect blood sugar regulation. Being careful with stress, getting plenty of recovery and sleep, and managing your hormones, understanding which ones you need help with, managing your hormonal symptoms, and all of this is going to help you. It's kind of like a domino effect. When one thing's totally out of whack, it just knocks everything else out of whack. So we need to get these pillars aligned: fitness, nutrition, stress, sleep, and your hormones or supplementation or hormone replacement. Those things need to be in order. 5-Day Menopause Makeover will teach you, and then we can plan from there, okay? Marlene says money is holding her back, so check out all these Black Friday specials. This is the time to get it. How do I not look 18 months pregnant at age 56? So part of that is that we start to get more round when we go through this menopausal phase, right? Same way when we start getting our reproductive hormones, right? You remember puberty? We are no longer this boxy, little girl figure. We start to look like a woman. We have curves. You can't just say hey, I don't want curves. It's the same thing. You can't just say, I don't want to look like I'm in my 50s, but you can work on it and you can make it what you want it to be, right? So we can manage our weight through our nutrition. We can build strong, healthy, solid bodies with muscle and strong bones and healthy and good habits. We can get good recovery and sleep. We can be less stressed out, and we will look so much better than a stressed out woman who doesn't exercise and eats crap all day and doesn't sleep well because of all that and drinks a lot, right? Because that woman's gonna look round, right? And I might not be like the skinniest hourglass person, but I feel confident and strong and tight, right? So let's go for that. And I feel really healthy because I give my body a lot of nutrient dense foods. Okay, so the menopause belly is number one, stress. It could be your insulin resistance, so we have to look at the nutrition. And then we got to add muscle to that body, because the less muscle you have, which is going to decline over time if you're not working on building it, then you are going to get rounder, you're going to get softer, right? Because your muscle naturally declines with age. So unless you're building it, that's what's going to happen. So let's build muscle. Let's get your metabolism humming again. And let's get you feeling rested and just healthier and stronger. Okay, Marlene, let's book a call. Oh my gosh, we have so many questions left and it's already 12:30. I'm going to try to zoom through these really fast. If you guys don't mind staying on an extra 10 minutes. Hopefully you have extra time this week to watch. Maria is lacking motivation. She wants to get lean and toned. And she says, how do I incorporate new eating habits that stick? So the key to having your eating habits stick is having them be enjoyable, right? So like I said, order the really healthy meal and then eat a couple of fries off of somebody else's plate. So you get the experience without having to intake all the calories. You got to be balanced. You got to enjoy your food. You got to vary it, keep it exciting, and then just figure out what works for you and keep doing it and change it up and try new things and have a plan, right? So that you know if you're getting results, why you're getting results, and that maybe how many calories get you results, or what does it feel like when you're eating the right amount, you know? So we can talk about that on a call, Maria. All right, now I have some questions that came from my current clients. So Lisa says, if you had to pick only one supplement, what would it be? So she's saying like a lot of supplements get expensive. That's where I like to put my money. So I buy a lot. I just like bought everything in the Black Friday sales. And I'll send the email out with this video as soon as we're done or after I eat lunch. And I'll include all of my links and tell you all the Black Friday sales for the supplements that I get. This is really sad because this was my breakfast and it's 12:30 and I just didn't get to drink it. This is my Recover, okay? This is my number one supplement. Number one, because it's chocolate. And if I'm gonna get chocolate in my day, then it's gonna be healthy chocolate. And so I love this shake. It is for muscle recovery. And so number one, it has 20 grams of protein in a scoop. And I think that's fantastic to get that much protein in, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard to drink it, right? So if you're somebody who struggles to get a lot of calories in, it's kind of like water, you know? 20 grams of protein, chocolate, and it helps me recover my muscles and come back strong, not super sore. It keeps them healthy. It stops them from breaking down. And that's just my favorite thing. So if I had to choose one of the supplements out of all the ones that I take daily, that would be the one I keep. I might have to do some other things, but you know, like instead of drinking my pre-workout, maybe I'd have a piece of fruit before my workout. And instead of my hydration supplement, maybe I would take some pink Himalayan sea salt and soak it in water and use some of that to mix with water, you know, for hydration. Maybe I would do different things to kind of, you know, for my other supplements. I would have to eat more instead of my daily superfood shake. There's just a lot of things that I could do, but I like the supplements. But that's the one I would keep. So let me know if you want the link to that. It's 30% off. I ordered so many tubs of that stuff. 30% off in the Black Friday sale. So let me know if you want that link. All right, Janelle asked, what are the best recommended protein bars and where can I get them? So I would say the best recommended protein bar is the one that you make on your own. because you know it's fresh ingredients, right? So I went through a phase where I was, testing out making protein bars with like protein powder and nuts and seeds and like dried fruits and stuff. That's kind of a matter of laziness sometimes, and also they're not prepackaged. I've tried different protein bars. I actually also bought protein bars yesterday. I think they were 25% off. The beach bars have always been my favorite in terms of taste and texture. But right now, the IQ bars are my favorite for the macros and cost. I get them on Amazon when they're having sales. So I got my eye on that for a Black Friday sale. I'm hoping those come down. Otherwise, they're $25 for 12 bars. So you can generally $2 a bar is what you would expect to pay. And then now I've actually found them in Walmart, where I think you can get 4 bars for like $5.99 or something like that. I forget what it is, but that seemed to be a better deal. 4 bars for $5.99 than the Amazon deal. So Walmart for IQ bars. I like the almond butter chip and the banana nut, but I started out trying IQ bars by getting the sampler of all the flavors, and then there were just 2 that I liked. So that's what I do for protein bars. I think they're one of the cleaner ones, and I think they taste good, and I like the texture, and they don't melt on me on the golf course. I see, Janelle, you just hopped on. I just answered your question on the protein bars. Alita asked me, she said, my knees bother me when I do lunges. Are there any exercises you recommend to strengthen knees? So I actually had to go to physical therapy for my knees back in like 2005, 2006. For some reason, I got it in my head that I should do this one workout video every single day. So I did it for like 2 weeks in the morning before work. There was a ton of lunges and squats. And so this was before I was a personal trainer. And so I had no idea. I was like overdoing it. And then my knees started to really hurt. This was before my wedding, and I got married in 2008. So this is probably around 2006. And so when I went to physical therapy, one of the things that I did, it was not with a loop, but it was basically sitting and doing these leg raises. So doing a pyramid, and I would sit on the floor, but you could do it in a chair. So raising your leg 10 times and then holding it for 10 seconds. Then doing 9 raises and then holding it for 9, all the way down to 1 and 1. What you can do is you can also put a loop around, and you can do it with a loop, and that will add more resistance. The other thing is you can go out to the side. And so what it's doing is creating stability, right, in the joint. In addition to doing strengthening exercises, which Alita is doing in my programs, don't go as deep in a lunge if you are feeling hurt, pain, and use a chair for stability, or use less weight, right? So you're not going to go as deep. You're going to use something for stability, making sure you're contracting the muscles you're trying to build, and doing those kind of therapy exercises on a regular basis. I did those every day for, months and months. And eventually I built back the strength and the stability in those joints, and I continue to build strength in those muscle groups around the joints. So that's what I do, okay? Okay, Marianne said, how do you strengthen your hands and wrists to be able to hold more weight? So that is something I went through too. So I could never hold enough weight to put enough force on my legs. Right? So I would get, now my heaviest weight is a 50-pound weight, and that could be a lot. I was doing 50-pound weights for my split squats at the gym yesterday, and I was away on vacation. I didn't have, number one, we have wraps that basically you put it on your hand and then you wrap it around the weight so that your wrist is taking some of the pressure off the grip, your grip strength. And so that can be helpful. But then sometimes your wrists feel it. So number one, grip strength is something that you have to build. And so just doing it over time, I used to have trouble holding a 20-pound weight. Now I'm holding 50-pound weight. And again, it's a struggle. So I have to take rests and I have to, do different things, but it's something that you build up over time. So number one, I would say keep doing it. Try the wraps to see if that will help, and take breaks. And you just got to keep working on it and build up that wrist strength. One thing, if you've ever had any wrist issues, number one, you've got to be stretching your wrists and your forearms, right? So stretching them, getting on all fours, doing like little rolls around your wrists, rolling out your wrists, shaking out your wrists, keeping that feeling good. And then when I was in therapy, there was a point at which my wrists were bothering me, and something that I did, it was kind of like a weight on a string attached to a pole, and you had to basically keep wrapping up the string. And this motion, I can feel it now, right? So kind of like wrapping or pulling or turning this dumbbell, or even if you were doing this with a broom, you're building strength in that wrist joint, right? So it's practice and it's building grip strength. I wonder what like Google would say about that, how to build grip strength other than just practicing it, you know? All right, last question. Tanya, when using dumbbells, I always have one side that feels stronger than the other. Can our muscles even out, or will we always be kind of lopsided? So it's very normal. As you know, we tend to have a dominant hand, right? Handwriting, brushing your teeth, whatever you're doing, dominant hand. And so yes, your muscles can be different, like nothing's symmetrical. Your face is different, your body's different. Sometimes people have like half sizes, different size feet. So it's very normal to have one side that's stronger than the other. I don't pick up like a 5-pound weight in one hand and a 6-pound in the other. You do still do the same weight on each side. You're definitely gonna be better off. You know how like at the gym, there's machines that are moving together. You're better off using free weights in that case. Building up strength together, but you should even out a little bit when you're building at the same time. So if I'm using 40-pound weights, you know, and I'm building strength, then you will eventually build closer together and stronger overall. So I wouldn't worry about it. Tanya's done, she's in finishing her second program with me. So she's still noticing it, but over time, I think it's gonna even out a lot. I mean, when you think about it, Tanya's 2 months into her journey, which should last for the next several decades. So I think it'll even out over time, and I wouldn't worry about it, okay? All right, everybody, thank you for watching. I know this is a little longer than usual. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow, and sign up for something. Sign up for a call with me. I've got lots of time in the next couple weeks before we leave for Christmas. And you know, Monday would be a really great day to start something new, which means that Friday is a good day to start preparing for it, get your questions asked, get on plan, get, you know, on board with what you need to be doing, and then have that time to prep. And so I would say either reach out to me, sign up for a call, or sign up for something to get the ball rolling. All right, I will talk to you soon. Have a great week. Bye.